High-ranking probate court official says he's been recording Judge Kathleen Ryan's statements for years. Even though probate court administrator Edward Hutton says he's been harassed by Judge Ryan, he says he does not want this to be about him. Hutton says he's coming forward now because he wants to protect the people who have to face Judge Ryan in the courtroom.
The Honorable Kathleen A. Ryan presiding.
Good morning. You may be seated.
After more than 13 years on the bench, Oakland County Chief Probate Pro Tem Judge Kathleen Ryan is out of her courtroom. Chief Probate Judge Linda Hallmark removed Judge Ryan from her docket last week, announcing that a complaint about internal allegations of unprofessional conduct was sent to the Judicial Tenure Commission. Judge Ryan was arrested in 2021 for domestic violence, but those charges were later dismissed. And now she's back in the headlines.
Well, if you're black from any other country, you're doing way better. If you're an American black person, then you're a lazy piece of.
The 7 investigators have obtained the recordings that county officials say prompted Judge Ryan's removal.
Oh, he's just I have no use for him.
She's made it a living hell in the past 6 years. I mean, it's been terrible. It's cost me relationships. I think it's affected my health. Can't sleep.
Attorney Edward Hutton is the Oakland County Probate Court Administrator. He's in charge of running everything that's not under the judge's purview inside one of the state's largest probate courts. Hutton alleges Judge Ryan has been calling him both during work and after hours for years. And Hutton says during those hours and hours of calls, Judge Ryan said highly inappropriate things.
Why did you start recording the calls?
I just felt like it wasn't going to change. Nothing's manipulated in it. It's conversations that I was a part of, and I'm absolutely willing to testify to the authenticity of every single one of them.
I can honestly say that. Okay, I'm not systemically racist. I'm a new racist. I never was, but now I am because you're shoving the down my throat and making allegations that you don't know about. You're telling me who I am, and you've never met me. You. You.
Hutton says the judge also used homophobic slurs about other elected officials.
You know.
And that's not all.
A lot of times they were conversations about sexual encounters that she's having with various individuals. I mean, in intimate detail.
Hutton says for years he felt like he had to play along, and he says for years he was afraid to speak up.
I didn't want to lose my job, and I didn't want to be in her crosshairs. It's such a David and Goliath situation. I don't have the power. I'm not elected. I could get fired tomorrow.
All right.
I bet you that lady started off as the little white girl in the classroom, and now she's the judge. So just wanted to point that out.
Do y'all know what the judicial tenure is? The Judicial Tenure Commission is. Does anybody know what that is? Since we up here talking. Well, I'll tell y'all what it is. It is a board that resides all of the judges. And when you become anybody involved in the law, there's a super duper oath that you take to view the law constitutionally and unbiased. And when you break that, you're fired, pretty much. If we try to compare that little black girl seeing a monkey on a college student's iPhone and this judge and what she doing, I'm hopping off this live. I'm telling you.
That's how it starts.
I agree with that.
I'm telling you up front.
A person
I'm telling you up front right now. That's ignorant, and I'm not doing it.
doesn't just say things like
That's
that.
how it starts. Might as well go ahead and hop off now then, because that's how it starts.
But you're doing it to me now, sis.
I'm not doing anything. I'm
So
telling
you
you
fixing
that
it for you. So your point
we're
was
talking.
gonna be
We're
that
talking
that's
about.
how
We're
it's
talking about. We're talking about racial
Hold on, y'all.
microaggressions, and I'm telling you, they start off as
Ain't
that
nothing
little white
micro
girl with
about
the
what that
monkey in
woman
her
is doing,
phone,
sis.
and they go on, and this mentality is pervasive in their life, and they go on to be judges, lawyers, police officers, people that are in responsible positions to handle our community, and the the penalties that we pay to allow these people to continue to think this way out loud is unfathomable. Like
She wasn't thinking out loud. She got caught because somebody.
She got caught.
She got caught. She wasn't
She
doing
got
it
caught.
out loud.
She got
in the
caught for a reason.
courtroom.
I believe that nothing is a coincidence. And
What do you mean when
got
you
caught
say?
for a reason.
What do you mean when you say allow people to think the way they think? What do you mean by that?
Recording her, hence why recordings are good sometimes.
She needed to
do you
be
believe that
recorded, just
people's
like that
thoughts?
girl needed to be caught on her laptop.
Monkey?
DJ, do you believe people's thoughts should be controlled? Like, because you said she shouldn't be allowed to think that way, right? So, do you believe that people
should? I don't
do
believe.
you believe that people
should
should have the freedom to believe what they want and think the way they do?
I believe that you should have a certain level of decorum. You could be as racist as you want, but when you get out into the real world and you're mixing up with people, you're supposed to have a level of decorum, and you're not supposed to be
All right,
able
I
to
ask
be
you the question
overtly
again.
or covertly racist.
I'll ask you the question
why
again. Do you believe people should be free to think what they want?
I can't control what you think, but you should be
All right,
able to
I asked you again. Maybe I
control
didn't ask you right.
how
Do you believe that people should be free to think what they want? Yes or no?
You're not allowing me to answer the question.
Well, she's not answering the question. She's not
No,
answering
I'm
the
not
question.
answering
Do
the
you
question the
believe
way
yes
you
or
want me
no?
to.
Do you
No,
believe
you don't
yes
get
or
to
no?
dictate how I answer a question. You don't get to
Hello, the microaggressions.
dictate how I answer a
Stop the
question.
microaggressions. I'm just asking you a yes
Okay,
or no
we're
question.
gonna
It's
let
just
the
a
men
simple yes or
scream
no
over us.
question. It's
I'll
a simple
mute.
yes or no question.
I'll mute.
Do
We'll
you
let the men
believe or
scream
do you
over the
not believe?
women.
No, it's not screaming. I'm just asking a simple yes or no question. You didn't seem to understand it, so I wanted to make sure you did. I was just asking, do
I'm
you
not
believe
going to
yes or
answer
no?
a question.
Do
Are you
you
trying to
believe?
control my answer?
Do you
Are you
believe? No,
trying to
no,
control
no,
my
no. I'm not
answer?
trying to control your
Yes,
answer.
you are.
Everybody
I'm
on the
trying to
panel.
let you.
Hold on,
I'm trying to make her understand the question, which is a yes or no question.
Yo, you can't, Clout. Answer the question. Let her answer the question. You can't
Okay.
cut her off in the middle of her trying to
All right,
answer the
so-
question, just for the viewer's sake. Because right now it sounds like let's get some fucking decorum.
She wasn't answering the
Whoever said
question,
that
my
was
brother.
correct.
That's why. That's why I interrupted because she wasn't answering the question. I didn't want her to go off on a
Nobody should be
tangent.
interrupting anybody. All right, nobody should be interrupting anybody. I got the timer, so once the timer is off, then the next person can speak. You want to ask her question and then allow her to
The question was yes or no. Do you believe that people should be free to think that the way they like? People should have freedom of thought.
Yes.
Okay, now the reason I asked that question is because you said something to the regards of she shouldn't be allowed to think that way. So with you premising that you do believe that with you premising that you do believe that people should have the freedom, with you premising
in a public space.
With you premising
same thing, right?
With you premising that you
hold
believe
on,
that.
Hold on, Cloud. We got to make sure we respect each other. So if you asking for grace, then you got to give him grace.
I said one answer,
know,
and
but
then
we
I'm
still have to
allowed.
wait.
I should be allowed to expound on that because he's putting words in my mouth.
Right, but the same courtesy that you were asking for from him, you have to practice that as well. So
right, but he asked me a question. I should be allowed to expound on my answer. Just because I gave him the no answer doesn't mean that I'm finished answering the question. Especially if he's going to.
But Howard, it's a yes or no question. So if you gave the answer no, which is one of the multiple choices, and that means you've answered. I'm the one framing the question. I know what I know what answer is appropriate.
Hold on, y'all. I don't have to answer any of your questions.
Hold on.
You don't have to, but if I'm the one posing the question, I know the appropriate way to answer it. I'm the one who posed the question.
Who are you?
The person who posed the question, obviously.
And I'm the person that doesn't have to answer it. I don't talk to men.
You didn't have to, but you chose to answer it.
Cloud.
I don't know why you're upset that you chose to answer
Cloud and DJ.
Very much like your name.
Cloud and DJ.
Okay. Very not Michael.
You're so creative and original.
Microaggression.
No, that was a macro there. That was a macro.
I don't know why you're so upset.
Right. This is what
I just don't talk to men like this.
Talking about this, man. I was right. I know I was right. I knew it.
I don't know why you're so upset. I was asking a simple question. I was saying, since she already premised that she believes that people should have the freedom of thought, then when I was wondering what she meant by when she said the statement of we can't have them people allowed to think that way. So that when you say that a person shouldn't be allowed to think a certain way, that gives the idea that lends to the idea that you think that their thought processes should be controlled or limited. So that's why I asked you that question, because I wanted clarification on what you said. I wasn't putting no words in your mouth. I asked you a question to ask you another one for clarification and understanding. but y'all got so upset before you even gave me the opportunity to ask a question.
All right.
Because you're being the antithesis of what
that's
you were
being
saying you don't want.
disingenuous.
Hold on.
That's why you wanted to control my answer, but you were questioning me about control.
No, you were trying to disingenuously answer the question because you knew that you knew what direction it would lead you.
My answer is not
No,
disingenuous.
you
My
knew that it
answer
was
is
a
my
trap. That's
answer.
all. No, you knew the
My
question was a
answer is my
trap, and to
answer.
avoid the trap, you tried to not answer the question.
I didn't try to do shit. I did it.
Hold on.
All right. DJ,
Cloud,
would you like to respond to the initial question?
You knew it was a yes or no
Hold
question.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Go
Damn.
ahead. Carry out your name.
DJ,
I
would
just
you
wanted
like
to say
hold on
for,
one second.
oh,
Okay,
sorry, Jay. I didn't see you
my
talking.
fault. 1 second. DJ, would you like to respond to Clout's question, the second portion of his question?
I actually don't care to interact with men like that. I'm good. I want to stay in my femininity. Thank you.
Of course, because she doesn't have
He's
any.
taking us.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
Shame and
think
self guilt
Cloud
need to be right.
is
Yo,
being,
Clout, chill, man. Come on.
gosh,